All right, good evening. My name is Kendra Bartley. This is my partner, Nikki Barton. We are going to be discussing our task two of our family and in community engagement project. Task two focused on materials and resources we would need to actually implement and utilize this activity or this plan on the school setting, at the school setting, excuse me. So with Nicole's paper, and I went through and added a few comments, nothing too severe. Overall, I really like the idea of your project, and I think starting on October the 14th is when you're going to actually have the event. And I honestly think this is a great event. And personally speaking, anytime you have food or anything that will spark the interest of your participants, I feel like that's going to increase your attendance at any event, honestly. So I hope it's a good turnout, and I hope it's very successful, and you get some of the credit, if not all the credit, for coming up with a great idea and a great plan. And I do know we have like Title One nights. I'm assuming your district already had Title One nights anyway, because
Yeah.
the low perform or low income school supposed to have a Title One night if they're getting the federal money. So
So typically we have like a fall carnival, but we had discussed actually taking this a little bit further and actually doing like an outdoor event to be more like COVID centric was the thought process with it. And then
okay,
of course being able to enhance our involvement in the PBIS.
cool.
So we just basically decided we were going to wrap it all together and do it as a Title One engagement.
Okay. And I know you can relate this to your Indostar, and I think it's E, part
Yes.
E, that focuses on parent involvement. So I don't know if that's one of y'all's indicators for this year, but you can tie that back into that
Well, that's a good
with,
point.
with this plan. I did standard seven. I did make a suggestion here how to reword it. Nothing too severe.
Okay.
Just a suggestion. And right here, where it said the school improvement plan team will make a decision, I said you could just say the school improvement team will decide. You know,
What's funny enough is that I actually had the word decide in there, and then when I went to do the spelling check, it was like, oh, use the word decision. So it's kind of funny
okay.
that you brought that up because like I already had decide, and I was like, well, that the decision, the word is decision, I guess, could work.
And your long term goals and your short term goals were very evident. You pointed them out in the test too, so that's good. And raising money, I know that was your long term goal, but here, I guess my question is like here on the movie on lawn event, are y'all going to be doing anything to collect money that night or no?
Yeah, so there'll be two avenues. So basically, like the hot dog, the drink, and a bag of
Okay,
chips,
I
that's
get
going to
that.
be provided from Title One. But then it says candy and nachos. Those supplies will be purchased from the PTA, and then the popcorn is going to actually be um, that's going to be donated from the Millstone Theaters.
Okay, okay, that's good. So really, this year is going to be turned into your long term goal as well.
Yes, and so basically, we're hoping that by doing this, we'll not only increase the engagement, but also be able to increase our students' PBIS store.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we have additional funds to use towards the PBIS.
Okay, I like that idea too. And in your conclusion, just a few minor things that I've seen here.
So
Um,
correlation is actually a correlate, which is just like a group.
yeah. So I was yeah, I was a little, I was just like, okay, should it be correlation?
Yeah, no, a correlate is not a normal thing. Like most people just call it like a team, but like for some
Okay,
reason my school calls it a correlate.
okay.
It's kind of like
That's
fancy, I
new.
guess.
I'm gonna delete this.
Okay.
I've never heard it. I've never heard this term. I mean, we just don't use that term here.
Yeah, normally like you'll hear
Oh,
like some people just call it like their PBIS team or like their
yeah.
they'll just call it like a team of some sort, but for some reason my school calls it a correlate.
Oh, that's different. But overall, I mean, like I said, I really like the idea. Um, and hopefully 14th, you got to tell me if it was successful.
Okay, definitely will.
Hopefully it will be, and kudos to you for coming up with this idea. And it's great that your principal was on board for it as well.
Absolutely.
So if this is the first time they did something like this, or have they
Yeah, so basically, like, they normally do like a fall carnival, but this time they were trying to figure out something to do for COVID, because obviously we don't want so many people gathered in the same spot. Like, it's normally like the hallways of the school is where they have like the different carnival events, but like people gather in the small kind of tight hallways. And so this was an idea to be able to have a family engagement night, but have it more spread out and be more, outdoors and not so confined.
I like that idea. But is there any questions? Or, I mean, right now, I honestly like this part, task 2. I really
No, I mean, I think that was great. I mean, you were able to kind of give me some suggestions about how to just have my paper flow a little bit easier.
And I would just, like I said, I would just ask the 15 chair, or, if you have the login for IndoStar, I would go on there and just look and see if that was one of my indicators, and they can assign this to you, and this would be a great project. So,
yeah, that would be a great one to lead. You're right.
And I actually had IndoStar up earlier looking, because I was working on some craft or some stuff in there.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, I'm gonna stop sharing so you can.
Do you want me to share my screen so you can see?
Yeah.
Or did you want me to just? How did you want to go about? Do you want to leave comments on yours, or like?
Yeah, that'll be fine. Or I can add them as you're going along.
Sure, that would be fine. So if you want to share the screen again, and then I can just tell you what like the areas and stuff like that.
All right. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the first paragraph, I noticed that you have quite a lot of commas, like that second sentence.
Yeah.
And so I would probably just see if you can't break that sentence up to 2, just to kind of like, because it almost seems like it's very wordy. And so like where it says considering the families, so basically just like I would just combine basically where you have like this first one where it says engagement, where it says boost parent engagement, I'd probably put like a period, like, so take the make that just one sentence. Okay. And then the second one, just explain more about like the events that you want to create to spark the attention of the ethnic groups, like maybe just give an example to like say, the reason behind creating an event.
Okay.
So I just felt like it was kind of like, it was just this elongated sentence. So just to kind of break it up a little bit more. To make it to be like, instead of just 2 sentences, maybe make it 3.
Okay.
And then when it comes to, it says after, so it's about like the third paragraph, it says after speaking with principal Mr. Locklear. I would actually probably combine that where you have like with the paragraph that says the superintendent. So start in there, I would put that sentence in with that paragraph, just combine it, just move it up.
Okay.
And then where it says after analyzing, I would go ahead and make that a new paragraph.
Oh, let me go back. Excuse me. After analyzing.
There you go. And then just kind of make where it says Ms. Chavis, just continue that on as your paragraph. And then if you scroll down, there's a part that it says teachers can utilize Class Dojo. Do you see it right there?
Yeah.
It's an incorrect error as far as see where it says teachers can utilize Class Dojo, Remind, Google Voice, and email. So just as a spelling error. So I would just fix the word Class Dojo and then put a dash where it says email.
Class Dojo, Remind, Google Voice, and you said a dash?
A dash after the E in email.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then, let's see. And that was it. So it's very simple. I liked that your paper was straight to the point. It didn't, it didn't go around or anything. So you were very concise. So very minor changes. But I thought as far as when you talked about like how the event would be scheduled and how it would align with your school improvement plan. Like you had said with the actual program, the NC Star, I thought that was a good touch that you were able to kind of incorporate that and say, like, you know, why was this even a consideration? The only thing I would have liked to see though is for you to actually put what actual like the actual the teacher working condition survey, like what was the actual what is that called? I'm sorry, I'm not thinking of the wording. So basically, like how you had said, there's like different tasks that are in the stars. I would just go ahead and say like what which area that's actually come from. Like there needs to be more of a communication and involvement.
Okay.
So I would just want you to add as far as like what was it addressing on what was one of the areas that needed to be addressed specifically. And so just add another sentence about like what was the actual area that you guys needed to address.
Gotcha. Okay. And I do know, like, I want to go back and just add a chart. That's pretty much all I want to add to this part and make those few corrections. And I think that's
So
pretty much
tell me more about the chart that you were going to make, because I know you kind of touched on it before we started. What would the chart actually address? Would it be from the teaching working survey, or?
So I've stated some names in here, but there's more names and more people that's going to be involved in this part. So I actually wanted to make a chart with their names and actually assign like what duty they're doing to help.
Oh, so more of a table, like to say like this is the person, this is what they're going to be allocated towards their responsibility.
Right.
Okay, because when you initially said chart, I was like, okay, so like table, what kind of data are you using?
Yeah. So I just think that would be a great
nice touch.
Yeah. So
that'll be good, and then you can be able to merge, you know, the task 1 with the task 2 and kind of bring that together. Are you going to put it between, like put it before the material section?
I'm probably going to put
it below. Put it within your paper?
I may put it below it.
Okay, and then were you just going to label it as far as like?
Yeah, like table 2, table 3, whichever. I think it's table 2, maybe table. No. Yeah, table 5 actually.
Okay, I see. Okay, that would work. I mean, make it look very seamless.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, that's all the feedback I had for you on your paper. I think that it's going to be really good as far as like increasing your social media platforms and your communication outlets for the students and for their parents in order to be engaged. Also think that you can also increase as far as the you know, getting that communication out there, so that way they do have attention to the events that you're going to have specific to the cultural nights and the specific different nights that you're going to plan, so that way you have a way that you can boost that engagement. So I think it'll be a really good idea.
Right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hit stop recording.
Okay. Sounds good.